Exhale. Love this. And best of all, there are no pancakes anywhere to be found. Eggs. Delicious. Okay. A text from the mystery man.
The life of a Batterhand is mysterious and strange. Here lies a boy who cannot spell his own name. He can't grip the pencils, he never learned how to write. And Batter keeps getting in his MacBook Pro. The life of a Batterhand is mysterious and strange, but you don't have to go through life alone at this stage. You're a man now, you see, not just a batter boy to me.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the show. This is the middle of the night, and I'm your host, Corbin Fritz. Let's start out with a few monologue jokes. Chicago Public Schools has recently had some trouble getting teachers back into the classrooms due to safety concerns over the coronavirus. Say the teachers, just give us 5 more minutes. A former kidnapper has been elected the president of Kyrgyzstan. Here to comment, an actual citizen from Kyrgyzstan. I'm sorry? It seems the citizen from Kyrgyzstan that we were going to interview has mysteriously disappeared. They did leave a finger, though. When told about the election in Kyrgyzstan, Donald Trump said, "Kidnapping? No. Jeffrey and I usually like him awake." Well, liked. This week, the House of Representatives introduced articles of impeachment against Trump for the second time. It's the first time that a body has ever put itself against Trump willingly twice. I just appreciate the second chance. This week, Indianapolis and Marion County, Indiana, entered the red zone for coronavirus case numbers, which is why Kilroy's will be serving all red wine 50% off from now through the end of the month. Kilroy's, even before the pandemic, a pretty pathogen-rich environment. Well, you know what? We're just gonna fucking flow, baby. We're just gonna flow. We don't even need these blue cards.
Blue cards? What's a blue card?
Dead. Gone. Hello and welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the middle of the night, and I'm your host, Corbin Fritz. Today we're here with very recent Butler graduate, one of my best friends and mother of 12, Isaiah Moore. Isaiah, thank you so much for being at the show, coming over to the Character House.
Of course. I'm so glad to be here. Oh, wow.
So you just graduated Butler?
Yes. I officially graduated in August.
Okay.
So happy. Graduated with double major in psychology and theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a fun 4 years.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Very difficult, but I think it was very worth it for sure.
What was the most fun show that you did in your time at Butler?
Oh gosh.
What was your most fun main stage show?
Main stage show. Okay. I really like The Man Who. Because I got to work with one of my best friends, Natalie Fisher.
Yeah.
And I got to work with Mary. And it was just a really creative show. And I got to intertwine both of my majors, psychology and theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great. Yeah.
And then what's the most fun student show that you've done?
Student show. Oh, definitely Mackinac. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Uh-huh.
I still don't think I'm pronouncing that. But it was really fun because I got to play a straight male. Well, I play straight males all the time, but he was very super masculine, and I think that was fun. Also, I got to kiss Natalie. So that was great.
Do you have any difficulty playing straight? Do you find?
No.
No. Is that
because I mean, that kind of comes with being in this day and age where, I mean, we're going into a world where we can just be ourselves freely. But I mean, growing up, we kind of, had to play this, I don't know what gay is at a young age, so they have to emulate what we see on TV all the time, straight people. So, and I mean, so that just came easy because we were practicing that all the time.
Yeah. What sort of roles do you usually play?
Usually, okay, so when it comes to straight plays, I'm usually I'm playing the kind of, sometimes usually just like a wise older character for some reason, not like an elder character, but just an older person that I guess just knows more in the world of the play, which is very interesting to me because I don't I mean, I see myself as a very smart person, but I don't see myself as like an older person or anything like that, but that's fine. I'll play whatever, honestly. That I can. I mean, recently the most out of character person I played was the little Choo Choo.
Oh yeah.
I
written by James Still at the IRT.
Yeah, that character. I mean, that was the first time I ever played a 6-year-old. Or a 6 or 5-year-old. No, that was fun.
Had you done any children's theater before that?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've never. Well, I mean, besides like Seussical in high school. Yeah, but no. And other than that, no.
So how'd you get into performing?
Geez, that's a great question. How did I get into performing? Well, I will say, before high school, I grew up in the church, singing in choir. So I definitely got my wanting to be
now what
performing.
What kind of a church?
Oh, a Baptist church.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandfather.
A Black Baptist church?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, that's important. So I'm glad you pointed out. Yeah.
Black Baptist church and White Baptist church, two very different churches.
Yes. Oh yes, Black Baptist church.
Yeah.
My grandfather eventually actually became the preacher there. Then we left that church. But besides that, so I started singing there, literally from a very young age.
Yeah.
First song was "Jesus Loves Me, This I Know."
And was your grandfather a pastor there while you were there?
Yeah.
So you saw members of your family orating.
Yeah.
Leading on stage and speaking, public speaking and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not only him, but a lot of my family members are just storytellers. Like any family events, we can't just sit and just say a story.
Yeah.
Our body is animated. We're always into it. So I think I just always been practicing that my whole life.
Yeah.
And then
come from a line of storytellers.
Exactly. And then in high school, it was my first. But no. Oh my gosh, I just remembered. So my first audition was actually at Clues Memorial Hall and I was 11 years old.
Whoa.
And it was for the tour of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I saw that tour show.
Did you?
Actually, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. Yeah. It was okay. But so I went to the auditions. I remember it distinctly.
Mm-hmm.
At first, it was a cattle call.
Oh, really?
So literally, all the kids were just in line. They said no, yes, 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 no, no.
Mm-hmm.
I got a yes, so I got to go to the singing audition. And then they placed me in line with these kids, and then they basically told me that I was too tall. I've always been really tall for my age.
Uh-huh.
They were like, okay, you're too tall. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they were just telling me that because I was a little kid and they want to break my heart.
Yeah.
Or my voice was just not right for it.
Uh-huh.
But when I saw the show, I did see like all the kids were literally the exact same height. So I was like, okay, that's fair.
Huh. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was my first audition. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually fun, even though I didn't get the part.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents saw that. I think they realized that I would love doing that, even if I don't get the parts. I think that's what they were worried about, things like breaking my spirit and then I not wanting to do it anymore. But once they saw that I actually just enjoyed the experience of it all, they were on board. Yeah. So in high school, I auditioned for all the musicals and whatever, and for the most part, I was fortunate to get into most of the shows that I auditioned for in high school. And then in college, it was a different experience because throughout high school, I never felt like I was being a leader in things. I was just, the silent. I show off when I go to auditions, but then after that, I'm silent. I'll sit down. Everyone do your own part. But then in college, I really proud of myself. I'm now breaking off into my own tangent. But I'm really proud of myself for like having a voice in college. Yeah. And actually like kind of gaining like, I don't know, feeling like a leader. Yeah. So yeah, having an opinion.
I mean, you definitely. If we're just looking at like the paperwork of it, like you played leads.
Oh right, yeah.
But I would say that of the actors, even with the many years difference in our age,
right.
I mean of the actors, in the department, you were always in the the cream of the crop. And
thank you.
I wish that I had been around more, over the last 2 years to really see you and Ian Hunt and
Don't mention
so many
Ian.
People like
Love you.
age into that upperclassman status.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself introverted?
Introverted? So that's interesting.
Or introverted or extroverted or?
You're right. So that's interesting. I honestly don't know how to describe if I'm extroverted or introverted because
after rehearsal, do you feel more energized or less energized?
I think I feel less energized actually. Yeah. So I think I am an introvert because I do need time for myself. And like I don't share a lot about myself a lot. So yeah, I probably lean more towards the introverted side. But however, I do love talking to people. Yeah. Like so I guess I go back and forth.
I think that you can absolutely love talking to people, and you can be a fantastic public speaker, and you can satisfy extroverts while being an introvert.
That's true. I guess I haven't just thought about that.
Yeah. What's the next move? I'm sure everyone is asking you that.
So I graduated. I'm working with Summer Stock Stage and Eclipse. Besides Summer Stock and Eclipse, I'm on the board for there as their associate artist. During this past second half of the pandemic, we rewrote the workers handbook because obviously during this time we've been trying to figure out how can we make our company more inclusive and diverse. And that's really, really important. I mean, if any company thinks that they can come out of this pandemic not with that thought in their mind, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
something absolutely wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been a great thing. So I actually got another job at DFAS. That stands for Defense Finance Accounting Services.
Okay.
Basically, that's a long name. But I'm just a customer service representative. People in the military, they call me asking about their benefits. I tell them I help them out.
Nice.
Any
Wow.
questions that they have.
Yeah.
I love it. Because I get to talk to people on the phone.
Yeah.
And we're working at home. So
That's nice.
I'm very fortunate that I have those jobs. I think it's funny because since I started working customer service like that, before the DFAS job, I worked at a place called Dial America, where I was also a customer service representative for people who are on unemployment benefits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and as you may realize during this time,
Yeah.
majority of Americans are, so we're getting calls
Yeah, constantly.
constantly.
I called in like April,
Yeah.
and I got a call back in like June.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to say
Like-
you probably didn't get the service that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by that point, I was like, okay, I think I'm not gonna get laid off, and
Yeah.
I was able to kind of make it work.
That call center, woo!
Yeah, I bet. So what does that even look like? I mean, you're in Indianapolis.
Yeah. So
Are you on site?
So
Are you on site? Sorry. Are you on? Are you on site?
So yes. So at the Dial America job, I was on site for that one. And I became a mentor there. Because that job was actually particularly emotionally hard, I think.
I bet.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
so many people are going through so many different things at this time.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. And at least for me, it was really hard to like say there's really nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, we are a branch of, not even a branch, a twig of the government,
Yeah.
where it goes from the government to the bank and then the bank to us.
Yeah.
And there's not much we can do. I can't
Yeah.
release your money. That's not the law. I
Yeah.
can't do that. And I mean, somebody is literally their landlord standing right in front of them on the phone, and if I don't say yes, they're gonna get kicked out of their house.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even have the button on the screen to say release. Like, that's not an option. I just tell them
Yeah.
no or yes.
Wow.
Like, that was very difficult. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's really.
Yeah, but the transition to DFAS. Since the military, they are taken more care of. There are different avenues where they're in my opinion, not taking good care of, like mental health and things like that. But like their benefits, they get a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
Which is great. So.
Yeah, you don't have to say no as much.
Right, I don't get a lot of angry calls or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's just like, where's my
A lot
money?
of sad, dejected calls.
Exactly.
Which are much easier to shrug off.
Yeah. Yes. No, the sad calls I do get is like, my husband passed away. So how do I? Yeah, because a lot of the military
because
are much older.
like military wives or military partners, when their partner dies, they get their pension until they die. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pensions.
And what
must be nice. Once upon a time there was an engineer, drove a locomotive both far and near, accompanied by a monkey who would sit on a stool, watching everything the engineer would pull. Well, one day the engineer needed a bite to eat. He left the monkey sitting on the driver's seat. The monkey pulled the throttle, locomotive jumped the gun, and went 90 miles an hour down the main line run. Big locomotive right on time. Big locomotive number 99. Big locomotive down the line. said the engineer with the worried mind. Well, the engineer got the dispatcher on the phone, and he told him all about how his locomotive was gone. He said, get the wire switch operator to ride, 'cause the monkey's got the main line sewn up tight. Well, the switch operator got the message in time. Said that there's a northbound living on the same main line. We'll open up the switch. We're just gonna let him through the hole, because the monkey's got the locomotive under control. Big locomotive right on time. Big locomotive running down the line. Big locomotive number 99 left the engineer with a worried mind.
Oh, and okay, so something that I've always been wanting to like get into is voice acting. And I finally have been able to like get the opportunities to do that during this time.
Yeah.
I just worked with HCET Health Center something, and, and I did a voiceover like program for health educators about STDs and things like that. That was a very interesting,
Cool diseases?
yeah, very very cool,
Fucking cool diseases.
awesome disease.
I mean, we're talking gonorrhea. We're talking chlamydia.
all of it.
Ugh.
And there are some things that I had never even like. There are parasites that I have never even heard of.
Wonderful film.
Yeah. I love parasites. Parasite. That, yeah.
Oh, what an incredible. You know, there are a couple shows that you see that it's like, I feel like this was dictated from God.
Yeah.
Fences is
Mandated,
one of them.
yes.
Death of a Salesman is one of them. Tennessee Willie Glass Menagerie, parts of it are like that for me. And Parasite is one.
Yeah.
It's like from the very beginning, it could not end any other way.
No.
Like
no.
it
and it all went perfectly.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, every second was used. It was just golden. I mean, so refined and so...
the acting, the scripts.
The script was incredible. The settings and design. I mean, like, the whole world and circumstances that it happened in.
Yeah.
You know...
Like from the flooding and...
The flooding and the levels, like living underground and living above ground, and, you know, the concept of living underground coming back even at the end. Morse code. I mean, like there are so many... That being protected through a transparent pane,
yeah,
you know, like there's a storm outside, but it's not in here because of like the glass, which is the literal embodiment of wealth. Like,
woo,
there's
so many levels: the economic dynamic, the educational dynamic. I don't even know how to describe. It's unlike any movie I've ever seen.
You know, although I watched Moonlight,
Moonlight, yeah,
a couple months ago. I felt like Moonlight had a slightly slower rhythm to it.
Oh, absolutely.
It was more of a curation of poetry from a man's life than...
Moonlight, that was a poem.
Yeah, it really was.
Like, period. Yeah. And I really feel like it depicted, like, that... what a black male who is going through their a sexuality that's not the majority in that, you know,
and I thought it was really
in that world.
I thought it was
in our world
very empowering to have it set in the Deep South, where it was a majority black population at that school too. So
that was important.
You know, it's not criticizing black cultural ideals as oppressed by white society. It's black cultural ideals that are in charge in that moment. You know, when he gets his ass kicked. How do you feel about Kamala Harris becoming the first vice president of color?
I honestly, I'm very excited just because any opportunity for people of color to have some say is I feel very beneficial for not just my community, but for all communities, because we know what it's like to not have those opportunities.
Yeah.
We know what it's like to be oppressed and basically
be in America and not have access to the dream.
Exactly. So I mean, it's what it's interesting, I think. So Kamala Harris, she's been a prosecutor, and I think that's very interesting because of our dynamic right now. We need someone who knows what the police force is like to help us reinvent. It's not a radical change. However, there are people that truly hate anyone darker than them. Them seeing someone in that position of power, I mean, just that glimpse lets them know. Hopefully, I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm a very optimistic person.
Yeah.
I hope that they see that whatever they grew up thinking about us, a people of color, they can see that we're not the crazy. I don't know. What do they think? The
like aggressive.
Yeah,
or,
aggressive,
uneducated,
exactly.
Yeah.
We get things done. We have been since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
The only reason why there's America is because we are here.
Literally.
So,
Literally.
Yeah, the ground that you love and you call yourself a patriot
was cleared by slaves.
Us. Yeah,
I mean,
by slaves.
definitely in the South. Anyway. What are your thoughts on reparations?
Reparations. I only laugh because that I laugh because that's not something I don't feel we'll ever get. Honestly.
Yeah.
There's no equivalence or amount of reparations that can equalize or I don't know, undo or tantamount, whatever word you want to use,
that can never match that.
That can never match
what was taken
and done to people, black people and Native Americans. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The things that we see in movies, even the worst things we see in movies are sugar-coated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so many stories that you can't even begin to, I don't know, even process in your brain how much people of color were tormented during that time.
Yeah.
They were stripped from their language, their own personal religions. Languages, because we didn't just have one in Africa, you know.
Yeah.
We had to create our own individuality here.
Did you hear that "Lift Every Voice and Sing" is being proposed as a second national anthem for the U.S.?
Yep.
What do you think of that?
I think that's awesome.
I think they could have gone with a better black,
stereotypically
black hymn, personally, but
rolling.
At a baseball game.
That would be hilarious.
May I ask you if you have African diaspora? Is that something that drives you? Is that something that shapes, is that something that you've been interacting with over the last couple years? Is that something you went through at some point?
Before college, I mean, I never thought about that. I'm a black person in America.
Yeah.
That's it. But in college, when I started learning more, being able to pick up textbooks by my choice and reading things by my choice, I became more interested in learning about the people that fought for me, that brought me here today. So yeah, I do long know more. I have no documented history on where I even come from. I mean, I took a DNA test recently.
Turns out, 100% that bitch. It's 60% European.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So I mean, I recently took a DNA test, and I mean, like it tells me, you know, the overall. I'm from my dad's side is more from Nigeria, and then my mother's side some other parts.
Does it tell you tribes, like specific within those countries?
Yeah, it actually does. I don't remember them right now, but they did tell us tribes and like general areas. What they let me be more specific is that they'll tell us different areas, and then they'll say your genetic coding matches more with this this tribe and this community and so on. Or even if, because it goes so far back that sometimes it didn't have like a tribal name or a community name, so it says like you go along with this language.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So
wow.
DNA is very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's crazy. But I do long to, I don't know, just know more about the people that brought me here.
Yeah.
I just think is
going to Africa.
That's a goal.
Yeah,
that would be a dream. That would be so cool. Just, I don't know. It's just like I feel like I have to honor them in some way. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's such a, I feel like I'm like speaking movie like or whatever,
no.
But I just feel like that's such a way to honor.
Do you feel like I'm gonna guess the answer is both. Do you feel like you have to honor those who were originally in that land, whose descendants were taken, or do you feel that you have to honor all the people who lived and shed blood and sweat and tears in this land to go back and do a thing that they could never do?
Yeah. I think I feel like I at least I hope I'm honoring what all of them have went through by living through my authentic self, by living like just fighting through oppression. You said something earlier that I've lived my motto through the rest of my life. You basically said just kick ass. Like do everything.
Be undeniable.
Yes, be undeniable.
Yeah.
You can't deny me. Period. I don't care what your thought process is, how you see me or whatever. I'm going to be undeniable. You cannot not accept me.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I have always lived my life that way. And I think that's really important. I think in that way, I'm feeling I am honoring my ancestors.
Yeah.
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 Because they didn't stop me. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, the nighttime passes, but the dark remains. And I was feeling like a little child, but I am loath to place the blame on that lioness-esque woman who shall go here unnamed. She was looking in me for a lion, and what she found was so tame. On that erstwhile May morning, I took the 6 downtown to Spring, and I was writing something elegiac that I never learned how to sing, but I think it was this song, just 4 years premature. And I remember crossing out the line, that all is fair in love and war. Well, if all is fair in love and war, then I don't know what we are fighting for. 'Cause my baby, she's a real peach. When the night comes crashing down. Real peach in the nighttime rolls away. Alright, and we're going back to the demon killing work of love, my God. Well, the nighttime passes and the dark remains. I hand it over to my upper angel, who visits me in my sleep. We're in the field beyond the right and wrong, in the fallacy of form. You can call it what you want to call it, but I just say all is fair in love and war. Well, if all is fair in love and war, then I don't know what we are fighting for. So if we don't care, then fight no more. Let's go upstairs and let's shut the door, 'cause my baby is a real peach, and the night comes crashing down. Real peach, and the night time rolls away. All right.